As a money manager, I help my clients face their money monsters that lead them to self-defeating behaviors. And I can relate to their struggles because I have PTSD, payment traumatic stress disorder. To show how to tame our money monsters, let me share a story. I grew up in a wealthy family. Now, that's me on the very bottom. But after we took this picture, my parents divorced and total warfare broke out. In my family, money was like a virus engineered to become a weapon of mass destruction. Imagine if coronavirus and Bitcoin had a love child. My father's money monster is what I call the blinger. A blinger uses money to pump up their ego. And being a blinger ruined his life. My dad had 4 marriages and died broke because he kept chasing the next new, shiny, and awkwardly young woman. My mom's money monster was the extortionist. The extortionist uses money to manipulate other people. My mom would meet our economic needs if we met her emotional needs. So growing up in that environment, I wanted to avoid money at all costs. I also wanted to find a life of service. I first tried to find meaning by joining the Marine Corps. I loved it. However, I realized that I did not want to make a living from killing people only because I like to take pride in a job well done. It was my mentor, Father Richard Rohr, who suggested a higher calling. Become a monk. I took a vow of poverty and planned to be free from the grip of money and materialism forever. As a bonus, my parents were really pissed. For the first time in my life, they took a break from being mad at each other and were instead mad at me. Life in a monastery was a grand spiritual adventure. However, the entire monastery had a deeply unhealthy, avoidant relationship with money, which is how we ended up under an avalanche of debt and in bankruptcy. I guess we took the vow of poverty a little too seriously. Our business manager's money monster I call the dude in distress. The dude or damsel in distress prays that a knight in shining armor will magically come to the rescue. But if prayer alone was going to solve a big money mess, we were probably first in line. We cannot avoid money by pushing our responsibilities into God's lap. Otherwise, it's sloth masquerading as faith. Another money monster we battled is the hole in the pocket. Any money that came in the door flew out even faster. Yet our epic monster battle was with the philosopher. The philosopher views money as evil and something to be shunned. For example, one brother lived without touching money in any form, which meant someone else had to touch it more often so that his hands would stay clean. Eventually, I became the business manager, and after pulling the monastery out of bankruptcy, I began noticing money monsters everywhere. I discovered that monastery guests with spiritual problems often had a financial problem as the root cause. I encountered day traders gambling on the stock market, couch potatoes sitting on their backsides, and daydreamers who played the lottery as their retirement plan. But the root cause of every money monster was always the same: money traumas that created an anxious or avoidant relationship to money. The problem is that money traumas hijack our emotions, creating money monsters. So how do we build a healthy relationship to money? Well, first, we need to understand what a healthy or unhealthy relationship to money looks like. A secure, healthy relationship to money is low in anxiety and low in avoidance, meaning we are fully engaged but aren't anxiously attached to money like my parents, nor fearfully avoidant like in my monastery. All the money monsters arise when money traumas create an anxious or avoidant relationship to money, which then feed our money monsters. But if you want to learn about all the money monsters, you'll need to read my book. You can get the first 3 chapters free on my website, douglynam.com. However, I finally found a tool to help tame them all. It is a 3-pronged trident forged of contemplation, compassion, and action. Contemplation helps us see our self-defeating behavior. Compassion helps us forgive our money traumas, and action puts sound habits into practice. We know what sound financial practices are. They don't change. Earn, save, and invest. What we miss is the inner work necessary to implement the practice. Now, that's why contemplation and compassion are critical to first get our mental house in order. But just as there are individual money monsters, there are also systemic money monsters. We've built a predatory economy based on exploiting people and our planet. So, after 20 years as a monk, I became an investment advisor to try and make a difference. By using the trident of contemplation, compassion, and action, I've been able to help. I now co-manage over $170 million and built the first ever environmentally responsible retirement plan for any school or nonprofit. One key lesson I learned in my journey from Marine to monk to money manager is that money is not good or bad. It is simply a sponge that absorbs the intent of the user. And with that wisdom, I just saved you 20 years of living in a monastery. Thank you.